It's time for another build episode, as everyone seemed to really love the builds last week. So we'll continue to look at various bases, in this case an effective horde base. So this base relies pretty much on the same AI as I have covered previously in my videos regarding the zombie AI. And it is exemplified in the dead simple pillar base and the maze base. So check out those videos if you haven't seen them already. I want to give a big thanks out to everyone for continued support. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you enjoyed this video enough to subscribe and come back for more videos. And as always, I'd love to hear more about your base builds, what zombie AI bits you love or hate, and what further tweaks need to go into Alpha 17. So I'm going to start by doing a quick run through of the base, and I'm going to dive into the building of it and some of the features. If you stick towards the end, you'll get to see me test this against not just individual zombies, but also zombie hordes and blood moon hordes. I'll even try to buff up a horde just to see how it fares against 64 zombies, so do stay to the end. Of course, you can fast forward. So the first thing is, well, as you can see, it's a long ramp. So there's two main parts to this. First, you have the pillar base, or the whatever you want to call it. I mean, I didn't put it on pillars exactly all of it, and I'll explain why. But you have the actual base, which is pretty high up. I have a room in here, and I have another room up here, sort of an inverse birdcage. So that's the first part. The second part is the whole ramp complex. So what happens with the zombie AI is that, of course, they want to get to the player. And how do you do that? Well, you ensure they have somewhere to walk. So I have a nice ramp that goes all the way up. So this is about 30 blocks up. So that's pretty tall. But it ensures that they take a fair bit of fall damage. So I have one ramp from the front, assuming they're coming from this direction. They can come up here. They can stop here and wait. No, they won't actually. They'll continue walking up here, get up here, and they'll fall off. There's about 4 block distance in between here. I also have these side ramps because when they fall off, I don't want to have them go all the way around here. It just takes too long. So I built these ramps here so they can quickly go up and repeat. And I did that on both sides. This also means that if the zombies come from this side, that side, or even from this side, they have an easy way to get up to the ramp. And that's pretty crucial. You want to ensure that they walk up and don't spend time down here trying to bash your base. Normally, and of course, some people complained previously or highlighted previously asking me, how do I get into the base? So here I have some nice hatches, and this is basically the nice hatchavator. So let me go into this one. Okay, zombies are out there. Smooth. It's actually a lot smoother in Alpha 17 than it used to be. So I have here's a couple of features, so I can look out and I can do my shooting. Of course, I can shoot even without opening this, but this allows me to do some repairs on these bad boys. And this is electric fence. So that's pretty useful. Without that one, it's a bit troublesome to repair them. And of course, I can stand up here and I can shoot and do whatever defense I want to. Works pretty well. I have my generator bank. I can get up here to the top floor, and this obviously allows me to destroy any vultures coming in, and I can get out here. And here you have a very good view of zombies that are walking up, which might be good if you're just sort of clearing. Say this one I think is trying to get up to the ramp as well because of all the noise I'm making. The downside is that if you stand here, there's a pretty high chance that the zombies are going to walk up, but they're going to stop around here and start bashing because they feel that, hey, you know, there's no way I can get to the player, so let me just destroy these blocks instead. So this is sort of temporary. Don't stand up here the whole time. All right, so let's get out again. So the basic way, as I mentioned, is that they'll walk up and they walk down, fall, take fall damage, and they'll repeat. Now, with the main damage being from the fall damage, there are ways you can augment this. Now, what I did just as a simple test here is that I put a electric fence here so that as they come up here, they get buzzed before they fall down. So they take an extra, I think it's an extra 20 damage or something. But not just that, because they get electrocuted, they also actually stop as well, which means that sniping them when they're up here becomes a lot easier. Now, you could expand this even more. You could have another electric fence here. as they come up. You could put one here, you could put one here, and basically mean that by the time they come up, they've already taken 150, 200 damage. That's pretty easy to do, because all you need to do is have a fence that spans across, because they won't be attacking the fence post. Now, the electric fences do degrade in Alpha 17, so if you have a big horde or a long horde knight, some of them might be destroyed, but you know, that's why at least this one I can repair from the inside, even though these ones outside, they might get destroyed or stop functioning simply because they take too much degradation damage. But you can do that. You could also potentially add, you know, blade traps here. You can put dart traps on the side, for instance. You could imagine that you have dart traps here, so when they come up, it shoots across. You can do various things to do that. You could do that here actually as well. You could put blade traps on the top or something. You put dart traps on the side. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to increase the damage. But again, the main thing of this one is really to showcase the zombie AI and how they walk off here, and I guess some of the additional defensive capabilities that you can add. So let me go in here, see if I can get into my own base. All right. So let's go down here if I can get down. Okay. So we're going to show just a little bit of the pathing here. And let me do that by spawning in. Let's do some feral. Let's look at, come on. All right. So they'll be running up here. And we'll see. They'll come here. And they'll fall down. And after they fall down, they should be... All right. Here's the first one. Second one probably got stuck. Okay. Doesn't know where I am. Think the first one ran down there. So I think this one basically decided that no, I don't know where anything, I can't hear anything, so let me just slowly make my way up here, and that's where you can shoot. The second one, probably took enough damage to die. So let's try that again. Let's do a mow. Let's do this snow feral. Okay, let's make some noise. Yeah, come, run. Come up here quickly, we don't have all day. See it runs up here. And the slow one, get out of here. And he'll come up here, and he'll fall down. And they'll keep doing that because they're trying to jump over here. So that's pretty effective. And if I do this one, all right. Oh, let me do this one, turn on. All right, come on. Now, because it's pretty far high up here, sometimes they lose interest, which might have happened on this case. Come on. Alright, let's do this. Let's spawn in something here then. Let's do Snow Feral again. Alright, he should be coming up here, and now you'll see that's what you do. And he falls all the way down there. Did he die? Nope. Okay, let's see him run up again. Alright, come run up. And you shoot again. So this is really effective. It's a good way to take care of the cops. And you see he ragdolls and falls all the way down there. So that's pretty good. Now, what you want to be careful about sometimes is that if you have a ramp like this, but you have it too small, let's say you only have it one wide, which I did in my previous video, sometimes the zombie AI decides that there's no path to the player and decides that, fine, I can't get through because there's too many zombies there, and the next best is for me to start bashing down here, and you don't want that. So having a slightly wider one to give more options is a better way. So let's see, what can I do? Let's spawn in a bunch of them here. Let's do some old-timer ferals here. And come on. I know you want it. Come get me. Let's do a nail gun here while we're waiting. Alright. Yeah, it is easy to get your experience. And if you have an AK-47, it's probably even better because you can just shoot them in the face without reloading. I have an extended mag on this one, which of course is useful. But you see, they all run down. Bam, 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 bam. Not too bad, right? Especially when you have the perks that give you extra. And they just go flying. Look at this. You see how it is to get. Of course, you're not going to get 25 of the same type. One thing that can happen, let's do that. Let's get some cop here. Let's not do 25 though. Okay, come on, running up. See, they're still running there. So they're going to continue doing this all throughout the whole, you know, they're not going to do anything else because they're still trying to get to me here. See how safe this is? And this is problem with AI. Because he's trying to take out this one. Now it's going to run up. And let's see if he's going to explode. Nope, he died. So what can happen, and let me show that actually. And there's another defensive mechanism that I put in place here. Let me fly down. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's do this one. Easy. All right. So, oh, they ran down here. So this wasn't happening previously. Okay, so let's pretend that didn't happen. So what can happen as the cops fall down, if they take enough damage such that they don't die, but they go into the exploding animation, they can actually explode and do damage to the ramps here. So what I did, I simply put dirt. Dirt is explosion resistant. So if they fall down here, they'll run a bit here. What the? Yeah, so like this. Then they'll run a little bit here, and they'll be maybe here when they explode. And that means that the dirt here will take damage, but take pretty much 0 damage. The ramp might take a little bit of damage, but most of it is going to be undamaged. Now, I could put more dirt here as well to protect further. Again, it's just a way to start looking at how to mitigate the explosive damage. The explosion damage. Now, what I was also looking at, and I didn't realize that this was happening. Let me go down. No collision here. I was not realizing that they would fall down here. Normally, zombies cannot fall. Well, they cannot get down here. Let me drop down. If he runs around here, right? Oh, he falls down. Okay, so that's more of an issue. That really didn't help me. Maybe they changed something in the latest version. Because I was looking at ways to allow me to collect loot packs down here. Let's see if there's anything interesting. A little bit, not bad. To collect loot packs, say after hordes. So I thought, what if I put some 50 pillars? Obviously, as you can see, that is causing some problems because the zombies decide that, well, I can actually fit down here. So that's something that has to be removed. That doesn't work very well, so I'm going to have to take that out before I change over to do a horde here. So this doesn't work very well. Maybe the half blocks or something would work to prevent... I wonder if the player can fall down. See, this is... No, the player doesn't fall down. No. See, this is some of the really weird things. There are some gaps, like the 50 pillars, that zombies sometimes can get through, but the player can't. And I think... I don't know why they do that, because it doesn't make sense. I mean, the player should be about the same size as the zombie. But no, you saw the zombie fell down, the player didn't. Of course, you can probably use that... when you're building your mazes and everything. I'm going to have to take a look at that one, because it means that you can have paths that the player can never fall down, but the zombies will. And that can sort of allow you to separate things. Alright, so let me fix that, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a Blood Moon Horde, and we'll see how that turns out. And it's going to be a pretty simple Blood Moon Horde. Okay, we are about to hit, and the game stage now is about 500. So it's a pretty high one, and... it's now 10. Let's see where they come here. Let's see which direction. Of course, it's better if they come from the front. Yeah, well, here they come. Here, one to come. You see they run up here. And this is with 8 concurrent, so it's not super high. Whoa, they really jumped. And I gave myself AK-47 here. Again, just to allow me to do some better short-range sniping. With an extended mag, if I want to have... Oh, they run through. Of course, you can just stand here. Alright, and they just jump. Oh, I wish I could loot that one. Need a way to get there. So you see, this is what happens during a Blood Moon Horde. They come, they run up, they fall down, they die. Oh, a radiated one. Oh, not too bad. Here we have another radiator coming. So obviously you want to stand here. You probably don't have to defend if you don't want to. But of course it's pretty good experience. I mean, once you build this one, you stand up here and you just take out the zombies that come here. Get some extra experience. You won't be able to loot them, but always good with experience, right? And of course you want to take out any that are radiated, because they will heal themselves. And if you take them out, some of the perks are pretty good for that. You have a headshot explosion chance, and that's what you saw happening. Wow, and they go flying. Not bad. And another one here. Using some ammunition, but again, that's part of the fun, right? You see they're just going up and around, up and around. Of course, this is with 8 concurrent. You might go like, well, you know, 8 concurrent, you know, that's not too much. What happens if you do more? Well, let me try that as well. You see, this one is no issue. If I just stand there and do nothing, nothing is going to happen. I mean, they're just going to keep running the whole night. They're not going to have any chance of killing me. The fall damage here is about, I think it's about 50 when I checked last time, because it's 30 blocks. And yeah, see how this looks. And of course, you can shoot them when they're coming here as well. And if you had some electric fences here, for instance, or here, it would be a lot easier to shoot them because they would stop. But up here, you know, as you can see, it works really well. I mean, there's no way for them to get through here, and it's just free experience. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, they're spawning in there. Interesting that the spawn distance, I think they changed that for Alpha 17, that it's not as far as it used to be. Okay, so let's hold it here, and let me come back with a much more difficult horde. Okay, I'm back here, and the game stage now is almost 17,000. So that's pretty high. And I have 64 concurrent zombies, which I think caps out at 60 because of the server settings by default. Let's see where they end up spawning. I think they're coming from here. Alright, let's see if they come. Oh, here they're already coming. So now you get a lot more radiated. You see the zombie cop down there. Now the problem with the radiated is that they will continually be healing themselves. So you might have to be more active, and probably should have had more traps and everything. They will probably eventually die anyway, because they take so much damage from the fall. I don't think they necessarily will be able to always heal up, but it's possible. It's possible that the radiated ones, depending on how many hit points they have, that they are able to regenerate after falling down, and by the time they run up again. Look at this. One issue that you'll be seeing, and you see here the way they're jumping, is that, whoa, it is so noisy. Let me drop down the volume a little bit here. One of the problems is that because there's only 3 wide here, so, oh, and it's going to be exploding. Maybe not. There's not enough space, basically. The zombies decide that, hey, there's only 3 wide here, I can't necessarily get past, and that's why they're doing all this jumping and weird stuff. You see they even took out, I think one exploded, and it took out the fences. So that is a problem. We have too many here. They feel that there's nowhere for me to go, so I'm just going to stand here. Now when the fences are gone, they will tend to run out much faster, because the fences were sort of blocking things. So if you put fences so you have really high game stage, you might want to make sure that you have more space here. Maybe make it 4 wide or 6 wide or 8 wide or something, so that you don't block off because of the fences. Let's see, get this on here. And the spiders really jump. And they die and they fall down. Look at this. You see some of them actually make it across and do some bashing here. A little bit, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Oh. What are you doing? Nope. We don't want... Oh, he's got his head... Oh, no. That looks uncomfortable. Screenshot time. Okay. That had to be done. So you see, right, even with 64 zombies, look at this. Now, normally people don't have 64 zombies when they're fighting the hordes, but if you do, you look at this, it still works really well. Now you have to worry a little bit more about how you're gonna kill all the zombies, because if they're all radiated and they're all healing themselves by the time they come up, then, you know, you don't have an easy time to finish out the horde, because they're gonna continually heal. Now you could stand here and you could do, and let me do that with this one, you could stand and just snipe them, and that will help because they'll take out some of the brains here. but it's not so easy when they keep on moving the whole time. But look at this. Okay, you are dead. Yeah, there you go. So you see this works really well. And this is, I mean, you're not going to get a game stage like this. 17,000 with 64 concurrent zombies. You are unlikely to do that. But you see how easy it is. You know, this base has no problems in taking care of it. And I haven't really been spending all that much time on building this up. I could have a lot more traps around. I could have a lot of these things is actually built with, let's stop this. Let's get into God mode. Okay. So, okay. So a lot of this is actually built, you see here, right? Just with cobblestone. Now the stuff at the bottom is built with reinforced concrete. And, oh, there's a lot of these ones. See, this is what I want to get to looting. It's not so easy to do. But if I look at this one, look at how little damage they've taken. And I think most of this damage is actually from the occasional, yeah, you look at the damage here. That's usually from exploding cops that you see some cops exploding. Oh, he still makes the noise even though he is got the AI disabled. And you see this one will take some as well, possibly because of zombie spitting, but also probably because they come here, they try to get up, they get blocked, and they get frustrated, right? So there will be some damage taken here, especially when we have this many, because they block each other. If this one is blocked from too many zombies are sort of trying to path up, they will start bashing all the things that are around, and that's a bit of an issue when you pump up the amount of concurrent zombies. Oh, you see? Now he's standing up here. So that's really a design issue when you start bumping up how many zombies you have concurrently. You don't have that normally in normal gameplay, unless you're a really hardcore player. But as you can see, it still works really, really well. And of course, if you fix the ramps and you make them wider and easier accessible, then you should be able to handle even more zombies without them taking or dealing all this damage. And yeah. Oh, there's still some over there. And if they were spawning over here, you have a little bit of easier time as well, because the first wave would always be coming straight up as opposed to all of them coming from this side. So yeah, that works pretty well. Now I'm going to show you, oh, did they actually come through here? Okay, so let's, why is he here? I don't know how he managed to get in. Okay, so I'm going to show what happens if I'm up here the whole time. So let's say you stand up here the whole time. You think that, hey, this is a really good place to stand. And, of course, they'll be bashing. And you'll probably at some points see them. Yeah, you see they go down. You see they're standing here. Right, because they feel they have no way up. And then they start bashing the blocks here. You see these ones are down here on their knees. They're trying to dig through. And this is what you want to avoid. I mean, being up here works when you're trying to clear out the vultures, or you're having, say, a wandering horde, as opposed to blood moon horde. But you see this one, not a lot of them are jumping down. A lot of them are actually trying to bash down the ramp because they feel that's the best way of taking care of. Or the problem of that is that once they start bashing down this whole ramp, they will then eventually decide that, hey, I might as well just bash down this one. I think it'll take a while. But obviously you don't want to have to be repairing this the whole time. So from the construction here, I have reinforced concrete in the middle, again, just to give some stability. And then some of the stuff outside is just cobblestone because it doesn't really take much damage. And you see the same thing here. They got frustrated, they got pissed off, and then they start bashing things. They might be doing there here eventually as well. But most of it is, as you can see here, because this is where they sort of congregate if you're up here. Oh, it's really, really cold in the middle of the night. So, yep, don't stand up here the whole time. You want to be back here because that's the best way of just getting them to just get past here. So again, this is not a fully fledged base necessarily. I mean, this is not a finished base, but it shows that how some of this base building can be done that can handle even really, really, really high game stages, you know, 17,000, and can handle a high amount of concurrent zombies. And of course, if you have the rod and sprint, this is what you can do with the zombies. You can just tear them down. Experience. Well, so how would you improve this build? I mean, what are your thoughts? As you see this based on your own gameplay, how would you improve it? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And where would you place the traps? I mean, obviously you can have fences here, you can have blade traps, but how will you incorporate that into this kind of design? But let me know, and I'll catch you next time, if we're still live at the end of the horde. But we should be. Yummy!
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.